Hello, greetings from Zimbabwe. My name is Thembani Munyanyi, and today I would like to tell you my story. It is entitled Unshackled: How I Learned to Say No. Phenomenal is one of my favorite words. I found other meanings of the word in the dictionary: remarkable, astounding, amazing, singular. I also like the word empowered. But what does it mean to be empowered, to be an empowered woman? What is an empowered woman? Well, she's a woman who's been encouraged, enabled, supported, allowed to be the best person she can be. I wasn't always a phenomenal woman. I wasn't always an empowered woman. How did I come to be empowered? Well, today I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to also tell you about the African context, the Zimbabwean context, and finally, how I became unshackled and learned to say no. I am a mother. I was a wife. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I am also a partner. I am also an employee. The empowered woman or woman can be any of these. She has got so many roles, and in all of these roles, multifaceted as they are, she sometimes forgets herself. I was one of those people. I would do everything for everybody and not anything for myself. I would also look down on myself. I would tell myself I would never be good enough. I could never do anything meaningful. I would also let others tread on me, say hurtful words, an overbearing in-law saying hurtful words about how I'm not worthy enough, how I did not deserve to be in the family because I kept bearing daughters. Such was my life. I had friends, I had relatives who would tread all over me, take my things and not return them, sometimes not ask for them. I also had to tag along to events, funerals, weddings, just to keep the family happy, just to keep friends happy, tag along to events just to be counted amongst the others. But what happened? I discovered one day that I needed space to be myself. In my marriage, I remember, I thought I was happy. As time went on, I realized, no, I am married. I want to be married. I'm going to stay married because that's what matters. In society, you have to have a title. You have to be someone's wife. You're someone's mother. You are a mother. You're a wife. You're someone's daughter-in-law. You're also your parents' child. You've got brothers. They look up to you as their sister. And yet, there was something unfulfilling about it. I remember waking up every day from as early as 4:30 a.m. just so I could begin the day. I would hustle, look for extra lessons to supplement whatever we had. I had to foot bills, rentals, I had to buy food, I had to pay fees for my daughters, school fees and kindergarten fees. But while I was doing all this, I lost touch with my daughters. I could not bond with them because when I would leave the house, they would still be sleeping. And by the time I would get back at 9 p.m. or even later, they would be fast asleep. So there I was, working very hard for two little girls that I could not bond with. I didn't know my own kids. I watched my marriage disintegrate. There was very little I could do. I was helpless and hopeless. But I did everything to stay married. I kept quiet. I endured emotional and gradually physical abuse. My hair fell. I had blisters from all the walking. I did not have to wear fancy shoes. I couldn't afford them. And they were not comfortable because they weren't built for walking. I had to commute and I had to walk to get to places, to get money for lessons so I could go and put food on the table for my children and for myself, fend for my family. Remember, I was also a daughter. I had to send money home. I had to buy food. I had so many things to do. My hair fell. I had blisters. My dignity left. When I got married, I decided to lose self, to gain an identity as someone's wife and partner. Losing myself in the process meant that I had to learn a new way of doing things. I became a yes person. Yes, for the sake of keeping peace. Yes, for the sake of my sanity. Yes, just so my employer would be happy, my family and friends would be happy, and so my kids could see that I cared. I didn't spend time with them. How else was I going to compensate if I didn't give in to their demands for ice cream, for pizza, for old toys, even things that I couldn't afford? I had to do it. I was looking to keeping peace, to staying happy, to keeping my position in society. One day, something changed. Something snapped. And this is why, before I go on, it is important to give a woman space. So what kind of space does she need? Well, let's start with emotional space. She needs space to breathe, to be by herself, to clear her mind of all the things that would have happened. She needs to be allowed to get into a space where no one disturbs her. She can process things, she can recharge her batteries and emerge rejuvenated and ready to face the everyday challenges in her life. But she also needs physical space, space to grow. What happens in this physical space where she is able to maneuver, a place which is uncluttered, a place where there's no fear. Back to my story. I realized I had no space. Mentally, I had no space. Emotionally, and I had no space physically. So I decided one day to stop being mean to myself, to stop judging myself harshly and telling myself I couldn't do things. I mean, come on, I was pursuing a BA honors in French. After so many years, I had decided, let me go back to school. But that came at a price. It meant I was paying my own fees. I had to pay for my kids' fees, but I also had to play the role of wife, daughter, every role you can think of. I was also an employee, remember, learning full-time, but also working full-time. And I know some people are not comfortable with the word hustle or side job, but I had so many of those and I had to make it work. So, what do I also want to tell you? The day I decided I was not going to do this anymore is the day I said, but you're working so hard, you wake up so early, you don't even eat, you don't dress well, your hair is falling, you love your kids, you put food on the table. So why are you being so cruel to yourself? You're a phenomenal woman, you're amazing. It took me to realize that I could be better than who I was or who I thought I was. I also have to mention the support of the phenomenal men and women who supported me. Well, I was encouraged on the international platform by women like Tererai Trent, Tsitsi Dangarembwa, Michelle Obama, Teresa Makoni, Betty Makoni. I can also mention Rosa Parks, women who've done a lot for others, who've spoken out. But also on the local scene, I had phenomenal men and women who helped me, who propped me up, who helped me to stand and carry on. I remember my faculty chairman, Margaret Chipara, encouraging me to come to school. She would give me money on the days when I couldn't raise enough to commute from where I was staying to university. She would say, no, you don't stop coming to school. You talk about your problems. Here's some money. Come to school. You have to finish what you started. I also remember my lecturer, Tebogo Gwanzura. He would always pray and encourage me. It was not easy learning with teenagers. Well, they're not teenagers, some were in their teens, some were past their teens, but I was called La Doyenne or Mother Hen. I was amongst young people. I was shouldering so many roles and responsibilities, and I tried also to fit in. It wasn't easy, but those prayers, the help, that encouraged me. I remember my friend Leah Chikwama, she's my sister also. She would encourage me. She would give me money and food for my daughters. She's a beauty therapist, and she would do my nails. She would fix my face, make me feel pretty, and encourage me to go on. Clara would buy toys for my kids. She's my sister, she's my friend, she's my mother too. And she would buy food, she would give me words of encouragement, would sit in the car and talk, and she would say, you have to stay strong, girl, you have to finish what you started. And guess what? I did. I finished my degree. I went on to pursue a master's in development studies, and I'm currently looking forward to pursuing my PhD. What happened? I learned to say no. No to being bullied. No to self-deprecation. I learned to say no to all the things that I didn't want in my life. No became my favorite word. It still is. Do I use no just for the sake of it? No, I use no because it helps me, it gives me space to breathe. It also helps me to gain respect, first from self and then from others. I used no to empower myself, to unshackle myself from all the things that were going on. No to an emotionally draining relationship. No to scars, emotional and physical, from partners. No to scars, hurtful words from an overbearing in-law. I learned to say no to my friends. I can't do that. And I decided, you can't be my friend if you're going to force me to do what I don't want to do. I learned to say no to family. I can't attend a funeral. That wedding, I can't. You can't come today. I'm tired. I need to rest. No, I cannot lend you money. I don't have any myself. I learned to say no to my children. I can't buy you that toy. You can't have pizza or ice cream. It has to be a treat. What more, you also have to earn it. I learned to walk away. I left everything. I hear people who hold on to things, material possessions. I decided to walk out. I left intact with my dignity and pride. I left with my daughters. I left and I became restored. I became whole again. Why am I telling you my story? Because today I'm appealing to the men in our lives to encourage us, to uplift us, to raise us up, to protect us and give us space to grow, give us physical space so that we can recharge our batteries, give us emotional space too so that we can process the things that have happened, so that we emerge healthier and happier. When you let us grow, when you encourage us to be independent that way, we will support you, will give you love, and will help you also to rise. But we become also less dependent. We emerge budding. We become the best we can be. I'm also encouraging women. Let's lift each other up. Let's stop pulling each other down. Let's take each other to the summit where we should be, at the top, shining and soaring. Today, this is an appeal to the men and women to help support a woman. It may reach one woman today. If it does, it makes me happy. If it reaches many other women, I'll be so happy. But I'm so happy all the same if it goes to one woman. I would like you to remember Zimbabwe in your prayers. Remember the men and women here. But remember the woman who needs to be unshackled, the woman who needs to be left to grow, to discover things, the space that she needs, physical, emotional. Remember the woman who needs to be dignified in her walk. Yes, I am that woman. I was that woman who was unhappy and shackled. I was that yes person. Today I'm a no woman. I'm phenomenal. I'm empowered. I'm blessed. I'm alive and I am happy. I am restored. I have my dignity. And I would like to encourage other women. Yes, you too can do it. Time is on our side. Now is the moment. Today is the day. Thank you so much. Once again, I'm Thembani Munyanyi. Remember Zimbabwe in your prayers. And remember, any story that is not told, any story that is not shared becomes a burden. So let's light a candle and pass it on to the women in our lives. Thank you so much.